According to your faith, let it be done to you. According to Matthew 9:29, we're going to read that today. As Jesus passed by, from there, 2 blind men followed him, calling out and saying, "Have mercy on us, son of David." When he had come into the house, the blind man came to him. Jesus said to them, "Do you believe that I am able to do this?" They told him, "Yes, Lord." Then when he touched their eyes, saying, "According to your faith, be it done to you," then their eyes were opened. Jesus strictly commanded them, saying, "See that no one knows about this." But they went out and spread abroad his fame in all the land. Matthew 9:29, starting with 9:27. As Jesus passed by from there, 2 blind men followed him, calling out and saying, "Have mercy on us, son of David." When he had come into the house, the blind men came to him. Jesus said to them, "Do you believe I am able to do this?" They told him, "Yes, Lord." Then he touched their eyes, saying, "According to your faith, be it done to you." Then their eyes were opened. Jesus strictly commanded them, saying, "See that no one knows about this." Now I printed out the rest of the passage. There were more miracles, but not as much on faith. So we're staying in just this short passage, trying to cover one statement of faith at a time, although 2 were put in there yesterday. So now, the first thing I found interesting is that the blind man asked for mercy as opposed to just saying, "Jesus, heal my blindness." When he had come into the house, so he's going to a house. When he came into the house, the blind man came to him. Jesus said, "Do you believe I am able to do this?" So Jesus knew what they wanted. And yes, Lord. So they were asking for mercy. The mercy God delivered was the ability to return their vision. And he said, "According to your faith, be it done to you." Now, in our language today, I think, I got the sense that this is like a translation of some other language, right? Because we don't really speak like that anymore. According to your faith, be it done to you. Because I don't really know, here it's clearly, Jesus asked them, "Do you believe I can do this?" They said yes. They even were smart enough to ask for mercy and let Jesus decide. Really sort of a submitting to his authority. And he said, it's like they knew that Jesus could do it if he wanted to. They asked for it, it was done. Then we come and see this next sentence, "According to your faith, be it done to you." This is the difficulty parsing all these passages on faith, because faith involves, it's like, I believe in Jesus, but I believe in the afterlife. If I believe in Jesus, I can live forever. Is it my belief we're looking at? Well, it's what Jesus did. We know Jesus did it. Like when I look at the eternal, I'd like to go to heaven. So I'm like, what does Jesus promise for as eternal life? Because I believe him. So if he said it, and I believe it will have eternal life, and I act in accordance, the lawyer in me, it feels like I know this sounds arrogant, but I got to go with something. So if I'm in front of a judgment day and Jesus brings up all my sins, my life has flashed before me twice in my life. And certainly one, it was long ago, but I still remember one just viscerally so well. And in a very short period of time, the time for like 2 spins in a car on a bridge, I saw the highlights of my entire life up until about the year 18 years of age. And I came away distinctly judging the value of my life. Like whether, I don't even remember my judgment, but I remember I judged it. And I know that if I'm in front of Jesus and I'm judging my own life, as Paul said, our filthy works are rags. So while I hadn't done a lot of sinning until at 17, but I knew that it was a good life, but it wasn't perfect. It was lacking. You were weighed and measured and found wanting. I guess, a quote used in the movies, probably from Shakespeare. I weighed myself and I was found wanting. Now, I don't know this happens on our death, but I do know that but I also came away feeling good. I really did. I know this is complicated. So I didn't feel like I was going, I felt like I would be going to heaven at that stage, because it was a judgment, but relief. It was wild. But so strong emotions you just don't experience in life. And so ever since that day, I'm like, I want to be in heaven with Jesus. What can it be? And I'm a lawyer. And I feel that if I'm saying I believe this was the book, and I believe what Jesus said, and I say Jesus promised eternal life if I do this, and I understand that faith is a difficult thing, I'm like, I truly believe Jesus meant it. I truly believe Jesus will deliver on this. And so he said, if I do this, I'll have eternal life. So I did it. And so I expect to have eternal life. Man, I know that sounds terrible, but that's really it. It's a covenant or a contract. And here's the offer, and I accepted it and I performed in lawyer speak. So if God says, well, why should you be with me? And I'm like, well, at this point in time, I know there's perfection, and you created this world, and you were the light, and I feel like I acted on it. I did an okay job, probably the wrong thing, but you're going to do that because that's you have faith, but you're still human. You think about these things. You shouldn't be looking at yourself. You should be looking at Jesus's work, but you're going to do it. And finally I'd say, but I acted in firm belief on at least one of Jesus's eternal life promises. So, dear Lord, cleanse me of my sins, straighten me out for eternal life, but I want to be with you. And so it's hard. I mean, I think all these arguments between the churches and Protestant and Catholic, and I drove by a Coptic church over the weekend, between Coptics and Catholics back in the 400s about Jesus' divine nature. Is it 2 in 1 or is it 1 in 2? I mean, I don't even quite, I don't understand how human beings can think that when you look at the Bible, you have arguments about his nature, but why would you split a church over this? It's humans arguing about something we don't really know. It's like, yes, sometimes it does sound like it'd be better to believe Jesus is one person with 2 natures, and other times it's like 2 natures in 1 person. But really, are our brains even able to contemplate this, especially on the level of God? So, our faith is kind of just like that. It's probably like light. Jesus is the light of the world. Light has multiple natures. Wave, particle, they're finding other things about science. They can twist it and make it like a third sometimes. Triune nature. I'm sure we'll find out light is a triune nature at some point in time, if we haven't already. And faith it's not just a set of words. It's not just one belief. It's acting probably in the belief. So we have all these arguments. And here, sorry, I went off on a tangent, but here, 1 minute, it's clear as day. They believed in God. The next minute, according to your faith, let it be it done to you. So their faith was in the power of Jesus, but it was still faith in him. So it's so interesting to me. So, but anyway, I also know, this is English. And, for me, I always once learned, whenever I have these problems with the Bible, I remember being told that Eskimos have 7 words for white because they use it for directions and everything else. So, and they live in a land of white. And so, we might have a few words for white, but I don't know the difference between newspaper white. Well, maybe I newspaper white. But just when I heard people talking about how painting and it's a beautiful white, and they're like, this is a smoky white or whatever, I was like, yeah, it'd be nice to really be able to distinguish and identify the shades of white. We can all agree on it, but we can't in English. So I went over and I asked Google what the different versions might say of it. And according to your faith, be it unto you. According to your faith, be it done to you. According to your faith, let it be done to you. According to your faith, let it be done to you. Because of your faith, it will happen. Now, I like that one. But is it, again, it's such an odd, faith is so difficult. Jesus just instructed, it's because they believed that he could do it, it will be done to them. And then he says, because of your faith. It is faith in Jesus. It is faith that Jesus will do it. And I think they sought him out. They said they believed it. They said, have mercy on us. It's all connected. Let it be done for you according to your faith. May it happen to you according to your faith. The NLT's choice, because of your faith, shifts the emphasis slightly from the measure of their faith to the cause of the event, highlighting that their belief was the catalyst for the miracle taking place. Like, I mean, yes, there's a nuance there. Because of your faith, it will happen. So because they had faith in Jesus, it will happen. Or is it because Jesus, it will happen? Because they knew Jesus could happen. Faith is difficult. According to your faith, here, this might be interesting. Your trust and confidence in my power and my ability to heal, let it be done for you. Well, the Amplified Bible really did a good job in explaining what I just tried to say about the NLT. According to your faith, your trust and confidence in my power and my ability to heal, let it be done to you. I think that's the best one, right? Thank goodness that was expressed. Because what you believe. So again, perhaps this is the best. Well, no, that's what I believe, and that's my faith. So an examination of faith today. I had more, according to your faith, thinking of it as a vessel. If you bring a thimble, this was an interesting point. Not sure you can read this out of the passage, but I asked Google, the phrase according to your faith implies a measure or a capacity. I don't know that it did. Like, right here, according to your faith, your trust and confidence in my power and my ability to heal. Like, there's no measure or capacity there in this definition. But I could see it in others. Like, that's what the split was in our brains. On my brain, anyway. So, the phrase according to your faith implies a measure or capacity. Think of it like holding out a vessel to catch rainwater. If you bring a thimble, you will receive a thimbleful. If you bring a bucket, you will receive a bucketful. I mean, I've heard that taught before. I'm still waiting for the passages where I come away with that. I'm hopeful that we will. And so that you should ask for a big bucket, but that seems so... I've had this discussion all my time, and I am convinced I'm wrong. Like, do you ask for God all the time? Lots of little things? Does it add up? Or are you using up your faith coins? Do you just ask for big things? I used to be of the thought that I should just have faith in the big things and try to be within God's will and ask for it, and it happened a lot. But I also see that asking for little things, you're in prayer all the time. I absolutely know in the core of my being about happiness, even when non-religious people teach it, it's the thankfulness. A lot over the last 20 years, as we're moving against the born again ask and maybe the grossness of the television, like the name it and claim it stuff, people started realizing that being thankful is important. And I don't know why I went off on that. Thimble versus a bucketful. So, you might want to go with a bucket, but I think you also have to be thankful and all the time happy, because just rehearsing that, just like we saw in The Chosen where they rehearsed, if you had just done, it would have been enough. But if you just did, it would have been enough. I mean, that exercise is so useful because I think it will change your perspective on life. Like, instead of life always being difficult on you, you start, what are you thankful for? Even if it's just the small things, and maybe you'll find more and more things to be thankful for. And as you're practicing that, it's probably going to switch your brain. I've watched one of my children change his life and others by working on that. So maybe go in with a thimble and a bucket, but a lot of thanks. And then finally, this is where they came to him, that by spiritual growth, breakthrough are rarely passive. God respects human agency by saying, according to your faith, Jesus invites us into a partnership. He has the power, but our active trust and willingness to step out, open the door for that power and move it in and let it move into our lives. Matthew 9:29 is less about a rigid rule for miracles and more about a beautiful, challenging invitation. How much of God's goodness are we actually willing to trust him for? Well, bad English, but yeah. All right. Thank you. Communion.media, funny name I picked. I don't know why at the time, on YouTube. My name is John McConnon. Thank you.